What's up guys, this is Valor Deutsch Gaming, your channel for fresh Arena of Valor content, and I've just received some comments lately on some older Kil'Groth gameplay, and to be fair, I just forgot about this champion. I forgot that I bought him, I forgot that he is in the game, because you barely see him, and that led to the decision that I should play him again, because he's actually quite fun. And yeah, today I made it work. There's some Kil'Groth gameplay for you. I updated the build. I've just checked out the old video. It's a little bit like the old build, but we've got some new items in there. And yeah, without further ado, I would say let's check out the build and then let's check out the gameplay. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, now's your chance to hit the subscription button, put on a notification bell, leave a like, leave a comment, and enjoy today's video. Let's go! Alright guys, so here comes the build, and as you can see, it's kind of like, I think, one of the meta builds right now. Like, that's the stuff that is recommended, and I think most players play him like that. We've got Favnius, which is actually a really good item because we want to have some lifesteal on this. I'm using the Sonic boots because we are going to be deep diving into the enemies quite a lot. Therefore, we've got Yoga's Edge as well as the Spear of Longinus. I've taken the Muramasa here to shred some armor, and I've got Fenrir's. And this is a little bit different to the old build where we had Rank Breaker and the Sanctai in it. I guess this is the stuff that's working a little bit better. But the big changes come in the Arcana section, I suppose. This is different from the last video. I've taken more on max HP here. I think I've played him on damage runes in the last video. And if you pick damage runes over health runes, it makes him some kind of glass cannon-ish. So you've got a lot of initial damage, but then afterwards you are, if you're focused, sooner dead than you can look at your health bar being shredded. And therefore I have taken 10 times Indomitable for some armor, for some HP, and attack speed 10% is actually really nice on him because the more you hit, the more life you get back. Then we've got Benevolence for some movement speed and some additional health points. And I've got Skewer, of course, for the armor piece, because otherwise it's a little bit difficult to get through armor if there is an enemy tank in front of you. Enchantment-wise, I'm not completely sold on this elite enchantment. I've taken Devil's Awakening here. And the rest of it is kind of really focused on utility. Therefore, we've got Devourer, we've got the Bone Cutter in here for some resistance increase of crowd control effect reduction. And then we've got the Enhanced Restore, and we've got Gunslinger in there. And I would say, let's have a look on how this build performed in an actual gameplay with Kil'Groth being on the solo lane. And here we go, and first of all, what I can say about this match is that it was rather unconventional. Therefore, we had Rourke as well as Richter on the duo lane. I mean, yeah, Richter works fine as a support. Nowadays, he has been picked in a couple of matches, especially on international tournaments. But otherwise, I don't really know if he is that good. And the fun fact is that we've been playing against the guys that we are going to be in a team with later on. And in this game, it actually didn't work that well for them. But then in the next match, we kind of owned, especially the jungler was then really, really good. I guess he might be better on Enzo than he is on Necroth here. So we had use this kind of like quick teleport, quick start that you get in the current gameplay, where you can start off at the Nexus and you are transformed, or you being kind of pushed immediately into the middle lane. And I think we played it better than the opponents did. And therefore we were able to get into the thick of the things, engage them immediately, and score 2 kills instead of just 1 kill. And as you can see, we are doing a lot of pushing stuff here, so Vera really wants these kills, and she's doing a really good job on that. Like, she is going to get a lot of kills throughout the game. I'm going to show you some of the game stats later on, because I'm going to open the stat screen
quite often, just to let you know how the game went. Usually I would go and pick the first upgrade of my first item before I go and take the boots. But in this matchup against all this roaming stuff, I wanted to have the boots first for some more protection against melee attacks on the one hand, and to get some movement speed on the other hand, because as far as I remembered, Kil'Groth is actually quite good on split pushing and lane pushing, and therefore I wanted to have more mobility at the beginning of the game and then going for some damage later on. So that was my game plan when I decided on what to build first. Here I need to be careful not to engage the full encounter. 3 enemies down at my lane, that's nothing that I can fight at this point of the game with little to no items at all. And as you can see, with Liliana and Tara, who is still a really solid tank, I do have some problems getting the damage through, and therefore I decided to go for some gold and some XP instead of wasting my life and engaging enemies here. So I played a little bit more defensively over the full engage, and I think that paid off actually quite well at the beginning of the game. So 4 minutes played, or 3 minutes played, the video is going 4 minutes right now, 3 minutes played, and we have already been scoring 4 kills instead of 3 kills. In this scene I wanted to showcase, or I wanted to find out how much damage Tara is able to deal, and she just ulted in, got a lot of health back, and at this point I don't have enough damage potential to really threaten her. So I just realized if she has ult ready, she's not fightable for me. I know that if Kil'Groth is a little bit boosted and he's got some kills under his belt, he can actually wreak havoc amongst the enemies, but we're not there yet. So I said to myself, rather play a little bit more focused and hold yourself a little bit back in the beginning of the game, and I wanted to dive in later on if there would be some team fights. That was the idea behind my game strategy for Kil'Groth, because I have played Kil'Groth yesterday or the day before yesterday, and I went full retard. I went in all the time, and the result of this was that I died quite often. Didn't have that much fun in the game because I was dead all the time. So I said to myself that I needed some change in strategy, and this is my new approach, and we're going to see if that is actually the better way of playing him. I'm fairly new to Kil'Groth, like I have a couple of games with him, let's say 10 or something like that. He's not one of the heroes that I play really often. As I said, I nearly forgot about him, that he is still in the game, because he is just not picked that often, and therefore he is just not on my agenda, and therefore I don't have that much experience with him. He's not an Arduin or something else that I play a lot on the solo lane, just because I rarely play him, and therefore I don't really have great results with him, because I still don't have the feeling on how to play him and how to field him and stuff like that. So that's that. Again, I try to fight against Tara. I'm using all of my abilities here. Now I'm using my S2, and the good stuff is that I actually managed to engage her long enough for my team to follow up, and therefore we were able to get the kill with combined arms. And if not for the execute, I think someone else would have killed her. But I wanted to secure the kill just to get some more gold and be able to stack up my items more quickly. And now we have finished the first item, the Fafnir's. I mean, Fafnir's is not a great damage tool, but it has some utility. It's more like a tool instead of pure raw force, but it works quite well with Kil'Groth. There are not many heroes that can build Fafnir's and profit from it. I think we've got Kil'Groth, we've got Omen, Hayate can work with it quite well, but then that's about it. Not many heroes are fielding Fafnir's, and now I'm going straight into Yoga's Edge because I want to have that freeze ability so that I can slow enemies down, because with that little dash I don't have a great gap closer. I'm relying on the short distance that I can travel. But as you can see, my team sports a really good job. They're doing fantastic work here. 11 versus 12 with most of the kills, I think, are now on the account of Vera. And she's been playing really, really good so far, dealing a lot of damage. So, yeah, I would say we are dominating the game right now. Every single time I see that my team is kind of occupying the middle lane, I try to roam down and push my buddies a little bit further into the tower range. Now we've got Abyssal Dragon. Kira is doing a good job on getting into the fights and dealing damage to enemies and then just hopping back out again. So she is doing the assassin work that we need her to do. And yeah, not every action works as planned, and therefore we are now about to get into it, and we can't kill her. Unfortunately, this little tiny piece of damage is still missing, so she's able to retreat, and yeah, she's going to come back soonish with more health. And I rather focused on the damage against the tower instead of focusing the enemies, because if the tower is down, we can just work with it and everything works out fine. But the tower is the thing to focus on. Everything else is kind of like of second interest. The important thing is to damage the towers, because then we do get the chance to fight the enemies under tower, and sometimes they're just feeling a little bit too safe. Yeah. I tried to fight against him. I knew that he had me when he was dashing in with all of his abilities and the life stack that he still had. I knew that I wouldn't be in any position to threaten him, so I just tried to fight him, but you see the result. It was just not enough. It wasn't enough. It wasn't enough, but we tried. So yeah, the enemy is kind of having like a mini comeback. 15-6 right now, 10 minutes played, which still means that we are going about to get at least 1 kill every minute. Really nice score, which means we're owning them quite much. 10 kills more right now, and I'm about to build the second item that's going to give me some armor or some health. And yeah, it's just making me a little bit more durable when fighting the enemies, and that's something that's combined with the second ability of him really works well. So yeah, the enemy is about to call out Hayate for doing something. I don't know what they say, but I can just tell that they're not really confident with the stuff that Hayate was doing so far. I have to admit that while he is one of the best AD carries in the game right now, we haven't seen that much threat potential yet. So I can see that if they had a better Hayate performance, that would have been actually a little bit more difficult to fight them. I don't know if the result would then be 28. But yeah, we can't change it. Like, sometimes you do have really good opponents, sometimes not. It's a game, and I do have my bright moments and I do have my not so bright moments as well. So I can see where that comes from, and I can see that you don't play every game as good as the next one, or as bad as the next one. Depends on your daily performance. My advice, if you are just realizing that you have a couple of matches that are not going too great, it's sometimes better to just put away the smartphone, do something else, go for a walk, read a book, watch some TV show, and just try it the other day, and maybe things are going to be a little bit better then. Sometimes you just have a losing streak, and then what happens is that you can't really focus on the games anymore, and you will be a little bit pissed off, and all in all, it's just going to decrease your win rate, because if you are in a bad mood, it's not going to be better if the next game is a loss as well. So stay focused, but don't push it too hard. Sometimes it's just better to put away the phone and let it be for that day. Just had something like that lately with World of Tanks that I'm playing on PC right now, and it was really bad. Like I wasn't scoring too well, bad positioning all the time, and I just called it a day, closed the game, and played some other stuff. I think I played Ark and started to build a base or something like that. So sometimes it's just a better decision to just not play if things don't work out as well. I think I had a moment like that when I was playing my first Kil'Groth games in quite a while. So now the enemy is going to engage us, dealing a lot of damage, but we are going to push again and again. Kira and I are doing a lot of damage here, and 2-1-6 is actually quite good for my Kil'Groth. Usually I end up with 1-7 or something like that, and this time I didn't waste myself, but as you can see, Kira is doing just such a tremendous amount of damage, and I can't kill Tara, it's just not possible. And now we have the next minion wave, 4 of the enemies are dead, and that is just game. So we didn't even see the full build. Fenrir's was missing, as well as Muramasa, so I cannot tell you how the game would have been improved by these 2 items when facing Tara, but I guess it would have been a lot better if I would have gotten more penetration. Yeah, everyone gets a like because the game was really good. And something that I want to focus on, like you have seen the build, guys, is the details, because our main damage dealer or our main kill person was Vera, but I actually had 1% more damage in the overall game, so that was kind of confusing. 825 for her. That was the game. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I wish you a good evening. See you around soon on this channel. Best of luck for you in the games. Bye bye.